podcast is part of the Pod Syndicate family. For more criminally compelling shows, articles, and conversations, head to wearepodsyndicate.com.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and welcome to episode 352 of Film Bastards. I am one of your co-hosts, Mark Foster, and as ever, I am joined by...
I'm not talking to you. Just once. I asked for just once, didn't I?
What?
To do it properly.
Talk about that on the podcast.
Five.
And I'm also joined by...
25 days until Russell Crowe 4DX, baby! Ian Loring.
Yes, we're excited because we know cinemas are reopening and everyone else hates us for it. What we're going to talk about this week, we're going to talk about The King of Staten Island. We're going to talk about 7500. I hope we're not going to talk about another movie because if we have and I've forgotten it, we haven't watched it. It was just us, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah. Good. It just seems weird that we're only talking about two movies.
Yeah, because we're not doing the iTunes rant of the week, are we? Which, next week's show, I think it would have been Elizabeth.
Oh,
so.
Oh, God, no, we wouldn't have been doing that. That'd just been me complaining for.
What was this week?
30 minutes. Hail Caesar this week.
Oh, I like Hail
We watched it not too long ago.
Yeah, that would have been all right, but,
We have talked about it.
We have. What else? Do we have trailers? Yes, maybe. We have news.
You have a trailer that you're just like, not a film, I don't care. Not a film. Not a film, I don't care.
We've had not a film trailer for a movie that we're going to review in a couple of weeks' time.
Not a film.
And we have some
movie, Mark.
what
It's
we've
not a
been
movie we're
watching.
going to review in a few weeks' time, is it? 'Cause it's not a movie. It's not a film. It's not a movie.
Beep.
Beep.
So yeah, there's bits like that. This is a fucking chaotic one, isn't it?
this is going to be a good one, guys. I can feel it.
Well, usually at this point in the show, I would say, Ian, has there been any news? But unfortunately, we did get some news just before we started recording that sadly Joel Schumacher has passed. 80 years old, so he had a good fucking run at that. But I'm a Joel Schumacher fan, right? I often actually have always thought that he's had a little bit. He doesn't really get quite the credit he maybe deserves. So I'm just going to go through just some highlights of the man's career. So, for a start, he wrote The Wiz. This was before he started directing. Then there's The Incredible Shrinking Woman, St. Elmo's Fire, Lost Boys, Flatliners, Falling Down, Batman Forever, A Time to Kill, Batman and Robin, 8mm, Tigerland, Thorn Booth, Number 23 was a great movie. That's just some highlights. There's not actually that many movies. That's a pretty fucking solid back catalogue of the ones that I've just picked out. And I haven't even picked out things like Dying Young or Cousins or Bad Company.
Falling Down, that's a great film.
Yeah, it just seems like he always got a little bit tagged with the, oh yeah, he's the one who made the crap Batman movies, isn't he?
Oh.
It's like, yeah, he also made some fucking corking 80s movies and Falling Down.
Yeah, you've got a lot of affection for St. Elmo's Fire.
Fucking love St. Elmo's Fire.
You know, sing the song.
Nobody knows the words to the song apart from St. Elmo's Fire. It literally is a song where it comes on and everyone goes, Elmo's Fire. Brilliant.
I love you singing that.
St. Elmo's Fire it's kind of that of sort of like the Brat Pack movies. It's the one that seems to get forgotten about most.
Because they're grown up.
It is, yeah. I think it is because they're grown ups. It's not Pretty in Pink. It's not The Breakfast Club. It's what happens to these people just after it.
Yeah, no one wants to see the
I do want to
20s
see that.
people.
I do want to see that. I think it's wonderful.
It's boring. Almost right.
It's not. It's fantastic, and also it has pre-surgery Demi Moore in it.
It does.
So better Demi Moore.
Demi. Or is she back to Demi now?
Back to Demi now, I think. Yeah. But yeah, so what's your Schumacher highlight, Ian?
Yeah, it's an interesting one, this, isn't it? I mean, what a fucking varied career, that guy. And also, I think one of the most prolific shaggers of men in Hollywood as well. So good for him. He had a good life.
He was, and as well there. I think to be an openly gay, because you had people like John Waters, but John Waters always counted himself as a peripheral to everything that was going on, whereas Joel Schumacher worked very much within the system, within the industry.
Yeah.
There. And he was very openly gay.
Yeah, no, quite. I mean, it's in terms of highlights, I am very partial to Phone Booth. It was a very, very interesting placement in his filmmaking career. Like you said earlier, Mark, he's forever kind of been tainted with the guy who made Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. Even though, I mean, those are two films that fucking swing for the fences, and do they work? No. But shit, man, he created a world.
I maintain Batman Forever is. I think Batman Robin's crap. It just is. It's crap. But I maintain that Batman Forever, watching that as a 12, 13-year-old kid, it was a lot of fucking fun. And this when comic book movies were made for people of that age. They weren't made for mid-30s comic book geeks.
No,
like,
they're made for kids.
They weren't made for kids. But also, well, he's got a vision and he fucking puts it out there without question.
I mean, I've kind of referenced it in the past as well, but formative, like, women are interesting experience for me at the cinema. I'll be honest, Poison Ivy for some reason. I mean, I watched Batman and Robin, I think last year or maybe earlier this year, and it's like not entirely sure why. But yeah, it's Batman and Robin will forever be memorable for me having a bit of a adolescent boner in the Bristol Odeon. Yeah. I don't know. It's a shame, man. It kind of like feels like shit. All right, 80, fair enough, but kind of expected him to put another couple out. It didn't quite feel like he was done. Like, what was his last film?
His last film was Trespass in 2011.
Really?
He had it made out in 9 years.
Wow. That's really surprising. Didn't he?
Because he was I mean, the thing is, he was. Oh. You're looking at it. First film directed 81. So you had one in 81, 83, 85, 87. He seemed to. He never did more than one film a year, but he'd have like 2 years where he did 2 years where he did one, and then he'd have a year out, and then he'd have 2 year, one, and then 2 years, and then he'd run like that. Yeah. So he was fairly consistent in terms of as a director. But yeah, even like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 between 2000 and 2011.
Do you know which one I really love?
8 in the 90s. Sorry, Fitz, 2 seconds. 7 in the 80s. Which one?
8mm. That nasty fucking film is 8mm.
It's just it's mental to look at a guy who's got a career that runs from The Incredible Shrinking Woman, Batman Forever, A Time to Kill, 8mm, Tigerland, and The Phantom of the Opera.
There's a weird range there, isn't there?
Yeah, but I like that. Like
number 23 is really good as well. People
like Richard Donner and people like that who don't tend to stick to a specific genre, who throw the hat around everything. They're always quite interesting. Lost Boys, a really interesting iconic movie.
Yeah.
I may need to finally watch Phantom of the Opera.
Phantom of the Opera's interesting.
I think I need to see Gerard Butler as the Phantom in a Joel Schumacher directed musical.
do. I mean, the cast is fantastic. You know, Gerard Butler, Emmy Rossum, Patrick Wilson.
Oh, as a character. Actually, in a band. Sugar Babe.
Yeah. So yes, no. Any other news this week, Ian?
I will just say on a slightly tech geeky note, an update to the iPods Pro has been announced where they will be compatible with Dolby Atmos. Fascinated to see how the fuck that's going to work. But I'm game to try it.
Is that the new one?
Sorry?
So they're bringing out a new pair that'll be compatible with Atmos?
No, so the AirPods Pro will have a software update which will enable them to be compatible with Atmos.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I mean the Xbox does Dolby Atmos for headphones, which I think it will probably be quite similar to, and it works fine. I mean, you know, it's obviously not the real thing, but it is a nice soundscape. But I just think that it's interesting how much how committed they seem to be to kind of like trying to provide a good experience like that. So fair play. I don't know. I just thought that was quite interesting, and as a owner of some AirPods Pros, I'm quite fucking looking forward to that.
Losing you, Ian.
Hang about 2 ticks. I might disconnect for a second, but I'll be back. 2 ticks.
Okay. Again, it's just in and out, mate.
Am I still there?
You're still there now, but it'll go, and then all of a sudden it'll just cut where you'll be there for like 5 seconds, and then gone for like 10
all
seconds.
Right, okay, how's this?
You there now?
Yeah, is that better?
Yes, it seems more consistent.
Okay, we'll see how we get on then. Yeah, okay, should we move on?
Yes. So what we got news-wise? Have we covered news?
I think so.
I think
saw
so.
some news about something earlier, and I can't remember what it was. So if I remember, I'll
So
let
it's
you know.
really stuck then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So cinemas reopen in the UK on the View open on the 4th of July, and Cineworld open on the 10th, and we have no idea what's playing yet.
Yeah, it's interesting that View have decided to go that early, considering Tenet got pushed back. I mean, you've got Unhinged comes out on the 10th, and then Mulan comes out on the 24th, and Tenet comes out on the 31st. So yeah, I mean, what are View gonna play? I mean, you'd like to think 4th of July. How are they able to play Independence Day? That would be quite fun. But then again, who's gonna go to the cinema to go watch Independence Day? I mean, so 450 films have been made available to UK exhibitors to screen, like kind of classic films and whatnot. But we have like no idea what is actually going to play. But I like the idea of being able to see some like classics on a big screen with cinema sound. I'm pretty interested. That and Unhinged will do me for a couple of weeks, I think. I mean, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting what they're going to show. You know, the first week there, it does seem like you might have Unhinged. I reckon there'll be another new release that people go, what? about. And then it'll just be a selection of classic movies. So I think what they'll do is they'll have it so there's a few kids movies, a few family friendly movies. So you'll probably have like the Back to Future things like that.
That'd be good. They might do the Blade Runner double bill again because they already had that slated.
Yeah, they might do things like that. So, will I go on my Cineworld Unlimited, obviously permitting on seeing how the system works and everything like that. But I'm a lot more comfortable with going and sitting in the cinema if 2 meters can be. If I know I've got a 2 meter bubble around me, essentially, there, I'm a lot more comfortable with that, having the fact that I'm working 40 hours a week.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I feel like showing the classic films, they're like practice films.
It's a little treat. So I'm hoping that for that week there, they'll go, do you know what? Rather than showing Unhinged on 6 screens, realistically, let's show it on 3, and the rest of it, let's just show this and this and this, and go, if we've got access to 450 movies, why don't we pick a load and go, rather than going, right, we're going to show Star Wars Monday to Friday on 1 screen, 4 screens a day, go, well, we're going to show these on this day, these on this day, and these on this day, and bounce it around like that a little bit.
Yeah.
It's almost a little bit of a time for somebody to go, do you know what? Fuck it. Can we play this? Yeah, go on then.
I mean, like, the studio behind Unhinged must be rubbing their fucking hands. Because if that was released in, like, any other normal cinema week, it would probably open number 4 at the box office, and it would be, come and go within a couple of weeks. Now, that thing will probably be the number 1 film at the box office for 2 fucking weeks.
Yeah.
I mean that's huge. It'll be interesting to see what happens here, and if it all goes wrong, then do a lot of films just go, fuck it, we're going on VOD. But I don't know. I mean, maybe it's too confident, but I don't see it. That R rate is not going up. We're more than 2 weeks after the Black Lives Matter protests and all that, and like all the clashes with the far right and whatnot. And I'm not saying, I mean, I understand why those people are on those marches and whatnot, but you could have seen a surge, and we haven't. I'm just feeling positive. I'm just feeling positive about the steps forward, really.
It does. I think there's a
hunger to get back to some semblance of normality.
Yeah. I don't think that's. I don't think from people. It's a. I don't think they're playing it down. I think there's a genuine for the mental health of people. There's that, and if you're furloughed, or if were self-employed and you've got one of the grants or anything like that, and you've not, and you essentially have been locked down, I can see how it could be really strange, and you could be looking at it and going, why is this happening? It's like, right, that's fine, I can see that, because you're not been exposed to what's starting to happen and how the country's starting to be open.
Yeah.
But literally, I had a guy who's one of my regulars who comes in, and he owns a pub. Yeah. And he came in and he was buying some polos. And he said, "Oh, I'm reopening on the 22nd." I was like, "Well, you can't, can you?" He said, "If I don't reopen the 22nd, I can't pay, and start making some money, I can't pay my bills at the end of that week. So I need to reopen for takeaway and stuff like that." He said, "But it's
so today." He
said, "It's quite simply this fact, mate." He said, "The hospitality industry will not survive another another month."
No.
He said, "It will not. It needs to reopen." And they need to start. It's people have to start accepting that the world's going to have to get back to some semblance of normality.
You can't cultivate a capitalist environment for as long as they have and then complain about people having to try and... That is the system we have. We either save it, or faults and all, or we're fucked.
And stop fucking telling people if they go out to cinema they're contributing to fucking killing people. Get a fucking grip. Honestly,
To be fair,
get a fucking grip.
people come closer to you now in the supermarket than will be sat next to in
It's
the
not
cinema.
a socialist. It's not a socialist. It's not a social endeavour.
No. The issue is going to be if people are meeting at the cinema.
Do people do that anymore as much?
I think people are still like go on dates and stuff, aren't they, to the cinema?
But I don't know their willingness. I think you'll find it'll be people from same households going. I just think people need to calm the fuck down a little bit.
Yeah, they do. But the thing is, it's scary for people. You know, it's different. I've been back at work since the 12th of May. You've been back at work now for 2 weeks. It's different once you start getting out in the world. It feels different.
It's amazing how quickly you reacclimatise.
We were saying today, weren't we? It just feels like it never happened and we're just back on the hamster wheel now of working, being knackered, eating, sleeping, working.
One thing you make me realise is it's been an awful. I waste an awful lot of my life at work.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it has made me realise that. Trailers, what have we got?
Got quite a few actually.
Do we? Cool, brilliant. I'm glad I watched them all.
Well, this isn't a trailer proper, but should we talk about the Candyman animated teaser?
Ian's got a good theory about this.
Go on.
It's the opening titles.
Yeah, it could be.
It is, isn't it? That's good. That.
Yeah.
As soon as Ian said that, I was like, oh, it could be, couldn't it?
It's good though, isn't it?
Because Nadine Foster said, oh, look out for that in the movie. I reckon it's going to be the opening titles and the closing credits. Yeah. They're going to be similar.
It's fucking good though, isn't it?
I am very, very, very excited. I think that there's a possibility it's coming my third most anticipated movie of the year.
What are your first two?
Tenet and Mank.
Nice. Yeah. No, it's really good, and I like the fact that the trailer's dropped. Everyone's already wanting it, but it's more content to get people.
So yeah, a Candyman, right? A 28-year-old movie that has a cult following.
Yes.
But sequels did nothing, right?
No.
So a Candyman sequel that apparently does tie in the other sequels in a way, although it's a direct sequel to the first one.
Right.
Right? With no huge star in it. Yeah, with no huge star in it.
Yeah.
From I believe, second-time director, I think.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Right. Now that should have been prime VOD content for these times, especially, even with the Jordan Peele executive producing it, right? But they haven't. They have been absolutely insistent. This movie is coming out in theatres, and they are very confident about it. I think that they've watched that and they know that they've got a fucking cracker of a movie.
Do you reckon it's a banger? Do you reckon it slaps?
I reckon it slaps hard.
Yeah.
I have a feeling if that movie is just alright, I think I'm going to be more disappointed than if Tenet is just alright.
Nah, it's...
Yeah, I would agree with you there, actually.
Yeah.
I have such high hopes.
I'm hanging a lot on that movie now.
It's gonna be good. If it wasn't, Universal would have already announced a VOD release for it.
Exactly. If it wasn't, we'd have watched it already by now because Universal would have just released it for $15.99.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. I mean, like with King of Staten Island, it was interesting. I was listening to an interview with Judd Apatow, and he was saying basically the option was either, look, we just put this out next year, or we release it on VOD. So release it on VOD. Obviously, we'll talk about King of Staten Island. There is not a moment of that film that feels like I needed to watch that in a cinema. Candyman is different, and it feels like it's going to be riding a wave. I mean, shit, man. If we thought that Black Lives Matter was a big thing now, imagine what that's going to be like 2 months before the US election. That Candyman could be a proper fucking zeitgeisty thing if they play it right. But it looks like it's going to be really good as well.
And the thing is, because of the film, my affection for the original film, it's kind of like I've been sort of reading a lot of interviews in Neil DaCosta, and the way she talks about it, when you listen to people talking about film and read people talk about filmmakers, you get certain filmmakers who are just fascinating to this. Some are just boring, and they really are. But like Fincher, Michael Mann, Catherine Bigelow, Scorsese, Spike Lee are all fascinating people to listen to talk about film. You can listen to talk about it for ages.
Yeah.
But I was listening to an interview and I was thinking, I want to watch a film she has made. It seems really fucking interesting.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I'm very much looking forward to it. What else we got trailers wise? Because I might have seen some of these, but I've forgotten if I watched any.
Well, the next one, I don't know whether Ian's seen it, but you were in the room for it, but I don't think you watched it. Ian, did you watch the Train to Busan Peninsula trailer?
No, I didn't. I wasn't massively taken with Train to Busan, so I'll be honest, I didn't really seek this out. But how is it?
It seems like a very different vibe. It's very chaotic.
Okay.
That's the only thing I took away from the trailer. It's very chaotic. I'll watch it because zombies, but it's very strange. The Nest.
Ooh, The Nest looks interesting.
Did you watch this one, Ian?
No, I didn't. What's this?
It's got Jude Law in it.
It's from a guy who directed Martha, Mercy, May, Marlene.
Oh, fuck. I heard the trailer for his one was out. Sean Durkin, is that his name?
Yes, I believe it is.
Yeah. Okay, how is it?
Who else is in it?
Carrie Coon.
Carrie Coons, that's it. It looks intriguing, doesn't it? It looks atmospheric as fuck.
Does look atmospheric, yeah.
Yeah, it's Jude Law doing what Jude Law should be doing now, playing just a little bit kind of creepy.
He's really sinister.
But they're sinister creepy, not like creepy creepy.
Not like sexual assaulty creepy.
No. But it's the trajectory it should have. He wobbled for a little bit, did Jude Law, right?
Yeah, he did. But I think he's...
Too busy nanny shagging.
Well, I think the problem is actors get to an age where they just have to accept that they're as old as they are and just run with it.
I think he's
an attractive, not even an older man, but he's an attractive, mature man. But he can't be playing fucking Playboys and stuff like that anymore.
I don't think he dealt well with the fact that he lost his hair, and then when he got his hair back...
No, he really didn't play... He didn't...
When he got his hair back, I think he got his mojo back.
Yeah. But yeah, it looks really interesting.
Yeah, I'm very up for it.
Palm Springs?
Yes.
Yeah. Don't know how we're going to watch it.
Why?
Because it's a Hulu movie.
Oh.
A Hulu original.
We will find a way.
So, yeah. But, yeah, I am very up for a slightly dark version of Groundhog Day with Adam Sandberg. Or Andy Sandberg.
I don't know, it doesn't really give me Groundhog Day
vibes.
It gives me Happy Death Day vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also.
I see that, yeah. But yeah, I'm up for that, kind of like a dark romantic comedy.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. We'll do the biggest bit of exciting news last, but the Hamilton trailer.
Yeah, good, yeah.
Yeah, good, yeah. You didn't watch it, you fucker.
No, you're right, I didn't watch it.
What do you reckon, Ian?
I mean, it's fucking fascinating that this was supposed to be coming out in cinemas as like as a massive release. And it's I'm looking forward to people watching it and going like, that wasn't a film.
Definitely do.
I mean, I want to see Hamilton. I'm really looking forward to having an opinion about Hamilton.
I'm looking forward to when it comes out, all those people that have seen it on the stage going, well, you don't really get the full experience if you've not seen it on the stage.
Of course you will. But I you know what I'm actually really looking forward to? I love watching stuff that's been filmed off of Broadway or West End shows and how they've filmed it and made it work. I find the the
The direction, the way that it's directed, yeah.
I find that really like quite fascinating, and like, because obviously you can't just straight on film it like you would watch it, but then in a way you're getting a better experience than the people that have seen it there, because you've got different angles and stuff that they don't have, but then you don't get the atmosphere. So I'm really excited for this. It's 3rd of July, isn't it?
I don't know.
It's the 3rd of July.
Brilliant.
Yeah. And then the biggest news this week.
What?
Josh Hartnett's in a movie that's coming out.
Wait, I think Ian's got one before that.
Oh no.
Oh, The King's Man.
Ian's not allowed to start with The King's Man because Josh Hartnett's in a movie, Becky.
No, because The King's Man just looks not good.
I'm well up for Ralph Fiennes versus Rasputin.
Who the fuck's playing Rasputin?
I think it's Rita Fans.
Okay.
All right.
Hang on, I'm gonna have to look this up now, but I'm pretty sure it's him.
I'm less infused now.
Mm.
The King's Man. Is Matthew Vaughn actually directing this?
Yeah.
Oh, actually no. I'm back in here.
He is. He's playing Rasputin. Fucking fantastic.
I've just seen the cast. I am well back in.
Yeah,
It's a
decent cast.
I'll be. Fuck, man. Ray Fiennes, Stanley Tucci, Daniel Bruhl, Gemma Arterton, Risa Fans, Digimon Honsune, sorry. I mean, it's a
Matthew
good cast.
Aaron
Matthew
Taylor
Good.
Johnson.
Yep. Let's fucking go. Like
Right.
I mean, it looks fun. I think it looks fun, and I'm really interested to see, like, because apparently there's going to be a 3rd Kingsman as well. They seem to think anyway, and it's like, okay, is this going to directly?
Yeah,
like
it's. Yeah, fuck it, I'm up for that. I ain't seen the trailer, but I'm up for it.
Have you seen the first trailer? Yeah, you will have done. It's trailer number 2, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the first trailer was a fucking while back, mind.
Not that much better. It's 80 seconds. You're gonna have to actually talk. We keep getting beeps. I have to talk a little bit more about the
Josh Hartnett thing.
Yeah, no.
It seems like he's like an investigative journalist, isn't he?
Yes.
Investigating some suspicious arrest, and it's all a bit thriller actiony. I'm happy to watch Josh Hartnett in that kind of role.
Yeah.
He's of a more advanced age now. I think he can do that.
Cool.
But yeah, I think I'm just excited to see him back. Who else do we need? They've still not done anything with Brendan Fraser for us, have they?
No, the Brendan Fraser one is not.
Is it not going to happen?
I don't know.
Come on, Vin.
I'd like to see that. Yeah.
I would as well. I think it makes me sad. Makes me really genuinely sad.
Yeah, I mean, Vin doesn't have The Rock willing to play with him anymore, so why not Brendan Fraser?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, the pre-Rock.
Yeah.
Before The Rock stole
exactly.
Brendan Fraser's career.
Yeah.
Bad Rock.
Damn you, Dwayne.
Yeah.
Well, he's in a thing. Hang on, what's this?
Brendan Fraser.
Oh, no.
What?
I don't know. It doesn't say what it's about.
It's never a good one.
Behind the Curtain of the Night.
Down with that. Sounds brilliant.
The story of a man
Wow.
who sees his past lives from before he was born after being declared dead for the second time. Sounds light.
That's bad luck if you declared dead twice.
Oh, yeah. The Legend of William Tell?
And that's never getting made.
No.
He's been trying to make that for like 20 odd years. He tried to make that when he was bankable.
But Behind the Curtain of Night, it says it's in post-production.
Cool.
We'll never see it, will
I
we?
look forward to scrolling past that several times on Prime.
Oh, no, we have to support Brendan Fraser.
I will support Brendan
Do you
Fraser.
reckon he's hit the gym a bit, maybe?
I think it'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He had some Me Too things, didn't he? An alcohol addiction thing and stuff like that.
Did he have some Me Too things?
He was the victim.
Oh, he did, didn't he?
Yeah.
Poor Brendan.
Poor Brendan. Yeah.
Oh.
People don't care about Brendan like we do.
We do.
Yeah.
We go back and watch his back catalogue quite often.
We do,
The amount of
actually.
times that we've seen The Mummy and The Mummy 2 is just shame.
The first two Mummy films are fantastic,
They are.
great, fucking action fun.
And it all goes tits up.
Yeah. Right. Trailers, we done. Should we talk an actual movie now? Which one should we talk? 7500 is directed by Patrick Volrath. I'm going with that.
That sounds like a fake name.
Does sound like a fake name. Sounds like I made it up because I couldn't pronounce it.
I mean, it does look like it should be Volrath, though.
Volrath. I'm going with Patrick Volrath. And stars Joseph Gordon-Levitt and people. Other people are in it as well. What is it the story of? Joseph Gordon-Levitt plays a American co-pilot named Tobias Ellis, who is flying from Berlin to Paris. He's a co-pilot. What?
So the opposite way from in the song.
I was just thinking about the song.
Do you not know the song there?
Which song? I'm having a very brainless day today. You're going to have to bear with me. No, you could literally ask me to spell my name and I think I'd show you a picture of a fork. Which song? I definitely don't know this. Make it go away now.
Do you not remember that song?
No.
Gosh, you do live in a bubble, don't you?
I do live in a bubble, yeah.
Is it nice there?
What?
In your bubble?
I don't know, they won't let me in.
You're in like a sub bubble.
I'm just sort of looking at it, pressed up again, going,
I have nowhere else to go.
can I have one of those donuts? So what's he doing? He's flying to Berlin to Paris, and one of the cabin crew is his partner, which in a exposition scene to set up things throughout the film, not foreshadowing at all, is given very early on. And then, what would you have it? People try and hijack the plane. And yeah, basically the entire movie is shown from the cockpit, isn't it?
Which is a really interesting way to do it, actually.
And do you know what? My brain only just...
Gosh.
Yes. Within the movie.
That was the most interesting bit about the movie.
Ian, what did you think 7500?
I mean, I think it's a compliment to say that the worst thing about 7500 is that they tried to get away with the idea that two partners who have a child together would be working on the same plane.
That's an odd gripe.
Is that something that wouldn't be allowed?
It depends how open they are about it. I think they would probably try and avoid it in case, obviously, the plane crashes and the child's left orphaned.
Oh, we know rules.
No, I know, but still, I don't think the company would want an orphaned child on its.
I don't think aviation companies give a shit.
Conscience.
Okay, fair enough then. I just it really took me out of it. Because if you get into that kind of situation, and I mean, fucking hell, fair play, JGL sticks to his guns. But, you know, a lot of folks wouldn't. You know what I mean? And it really did. I mean, I was fucking stunned that she was killed off so early on in the film. Spoiler alert.
We're all spoilers all the time.
Sorry?
We're all spoilers all the time.
Indeed. Yeah, I just but yeah, that did bother me. But yeah, I thought it was a really interesting time. I think that it's probably a bit of a one watch. But I thought that it was effectively tense. I thought JGL was solid. I liked the way that it kind of morphed as it went along, and it becoming kind of like the two-hander towards the end, where that kid is so all over the place that you honestly don't know how it's going to end up. I liked it. Yeah. I mean, what do you guys think?
Apparently, it's an irregular occurrence, but pilots and cabin crew can have relationships and can fly the same flights.
Even if you've got
I didn't read that fucking far.
Well, I'm the point we were making.
It just, I'm fucking stunned by that. Like, if they were having like a bit of an affair on the sly, then fair enough. But I don't know. I'm really surprised they're allowed to do that. It kind of, frankly, seems irresponsible to me. But just because, but it does. Just because of the nature of the work, the fact that you're both on the same airplane, like if it's two people working, I suppose if it's two people working like in the same office and there's a fire or something, you could both die. I suppose there's that, but I don't know, man. It's just like, you want to lessen those odds of a child being orphaned. So, is there an argument to say that JGL maybe deserved his fate in this film? Perhaps.
Oh, that's a take to say it from me. Yeah. Can you imagine being sat there when he goes, so the life insurance? It's like, well, actually, you deserved it. It's void.
Yeah, quite.
Becky, once you finish pouring a drink, what did you think of the film?
Sorry, I had to leave the room because Ian's hot take on that was just making me laugh too much. I don't know really. Like, I feel like I wanted more to happen, but like plenty happened, but I don't know. And it just kind of ends, doesn't it?
But the hijacking stops at that point.
Was it this one that we watched that just kind of cuts off?
Oh, there was a different one that just kind of... No, but I would say that both the movies we watched, the feature film reviews for this week, did just kind of cut off.
Just kind of cut off.
Yeah. But this one literally just cuts off like mid-pound shot. It just stops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I go on.
So, right, they get everybody off the plane.
Uh-huh. Right?
They get everybody off the plane, but they don't try and access the cockpit, but they get everybody off the plane. But they don't move the dead body of his wife first.
Yeah.
I think they come on the plane. They just open the emergency exit and go down the slide.
I mean, still, you'd think they'd just go, somebody just go up there and just pull her down.
Well, I think they don't go on the plane because they don't want what's-his-face to shoot him.
Sorry, just to pick up on something Mark just did very quickly there. When you said, just... Did you think they were just going to, like, dustpan and brush her into a bag or something?
just me put the slide and just grab her and just pull her down a little bit so that... What? She's dead. She's not going to get offended by it.
I feel like that would be more disrespectful than just like...
But he wouldn't see it, would he?
I mean, he has got a camera.
I don't think he's worried about that.
Can you imagine if he just saw her sliding away?
Just down the slide.
and her skirt's hitching up because they're pulling her along and she's just there like, oh, what an undignified end.
I mean... I think he had more important things to be worried about there.
Well, I mean...
I also don't think he gave that much of a shit, really.
I mean, he did just let her die.
Yeah.
Just to say, if we're ever in that situation, if you suddenly become a pilot, like, you'd have to get like eye transplants or something like that.
That's a terrifying idea.
Isn't it?
I'd have to fly for Qantas.
Don't let me die. Let them take the plane.
And then everybody...
I'm not going to be noble about it. I'm not going to be there going, don't open the door!
I think in this situation, there's more chance that you'd be the pilot.
I'd be a really fucking good pilot.
And I'd be one of the cabin crew, and you'd be there going, I mean, he made the cat like him more, so you can fucking stab me in the throat for all I care.
Mark,
What?
I was just going to say, I hate to break it to you, mate, but I don't think you're ever going to be a member of a cabin crew.
I'd make a great cabin crew.
You'd find a pencil to go when
I would. Can I have some more peanuts? Can you fuck off?
Do you remember that one time you got your legs waxed and you wore my school skirt?
I do remember that time I got my legs waxed and I wore your school uniform. The whole uniform it was.
Yeah, you did actually, yeah. That's pretty sexy, I'm not going to lie.
It was pretty sexy.
Mm-hmm.
I did find myself very attractive.
It was for charity, just to clarify. He wasn't just cross-dressing. Which, if he was, that would be fine as well.
No, you fucking kink shame, mate. Anyway, back to the movie we're talking about.
Yeah. And there's just not enough. There's not enough plot there to support a whole movie for me.
Yeah, I
wanted to like this more because I love Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I really like him as a. just a screen presence. I really like him. I feel like he's got a nice energy to him. Like you feel like when you watch him, you feel like you'd like him in real life.
He does something good. It's a really odd one, this one for Joseph Gordon-Levitt, because it's been he had a couple of years where he was in an awful lot. So from I would say he broke out with Brick in 2005, and I think for like the next 5 or 6 years he was in an awful lot. From things like The Lookout and Brothers Bloom was in, 500 Days of Summer was a big movie, and then obviously Inception, and then he had a little run of a few years where he was really he was the next big thing, and then he just seemed to just stop being the next big thing, and then it didn't quite. What is it? And he's Snowden, and then this. And it seems like he's not done as much.
It seems to be, for me, since Looper. Because Looper didn't do as well as everyone expected it to do. I don't think. It wasn't as good as everyone expected it to be.
Maybe,
and then it seems to be from there onwards.
I mean, he did really well, Looper, money-wise.
Yeah, but no one liked it. No one liked the creepy face.
I think it was a bit Marmite was Looper. I think I need to rewatch.
I think you do. I actually quite like
Looper.
But it wasn't as well received, I don't think, as most of his other recent stuff had been, and I think he's concentrated more on his is it Hit Record?
Yeah, he's very much concentrated on that. I don't know. I just like you, Bex. I'm a big Joseph Gordon-Levitt fan, but it didn't. This for some reason it didn't connect with me.
It just felt a bit flat in places. Like there was really good tension.
It was tense, but the minute they took the hostage, the hijackers took over the plane, I thought it went downhill from there.
Yeah.
I didn't like that element of it. And all the way through the hostage negotiations, once he became a hostage, I was thinking, hang on a minute, are they not going to address the fact that he clearly can't fly the plane once they've refueled it because he's got one arm?
Oh my god, I loved the off-screen hostage negotiator though. The fact that
he was very insistent, wasn't he? I
couldn't reach you on the radio, so I just thought I'd come out here.
Yeah, I would watch a movie about his take on what was going on.
Off-screen.
Yeah.
Just him doing a voiceover.
Yeah.
Like a director's commentary, but from the hostage negotiator.
No, I want to watch a movie about him. I want to watch his movie, what he was doing at this point, and like him going,
I can't reach.
Is he hung up or have we lost him? I don't know. Should we go out there? I don't think he'll like that. Let's go out there. No, I don't think we should do that.
I like to think he's in like one of those like airport vehicles as well, like the buggies.
I reckon he's got the fucking stairs full of Arrested Development.
Oh my god, that would be amazing.
Sorry, what were you going to say?
Breaking news.
Oh god.
Michael Keaton is in talks to return as Batman for the Flash movie.
That's a fucking odd one. That's a really odd one. This is going to be a little bit like they're going, right, we're finally going to make a Flash movie. It's going to be called Batman versus Flash. And then it's just going to be Batman. Flash might be in it.
So there's sources tell The Hollywood Reporter that the role being envisaged for the veteran actor is akin to the role played by Samuel Jackson as Nick Fury in the MCU, something of a mentor or guide. And if he makes the deal, he will be in possibly several other DC films.
Wait a minute, but wait, right?
What the fuck?
Wait, but the Flash? Is this Ezra Miller's The Flash movie?
Yeah.
And I might even a bit silly here, but isn't there already a Batman that exists within that already established universe? There.
I mean, I suppose, like, could there be like another fucking universe or something? Like, it doesn't the Flash have like infinite Earths or some shit? Is that Flash?
I have no idea. I like the idea though that you get the Flash goes, Batman just appears and it's Michael Keaton and he goes, wait, You're not. What is it? He goes, yeah, yeah, I am, yeah. Yeah, I'm Batman. I've been Batman before. Trust me.
Can I just say one thing? Obviously, it's good to share the news and stuff like that, but we need to not say while we're recording on the show, breaking news, person's name is. Just let's not do that for the rest of 2020, especially if it's someone that we like, because it makes my heart go.
Sorry.
Yes.
The thing is there, it doesn't make me want to watch The Flash. It makes me want to go, don't bother making a Flash movie. Just do a Michael Keaton older Batman movie.
I would watch that.
Yeah, a detective Batman movie.
Well, that's kind of what we're getting with the Pattinson one.
Yeah, I know, but...
He's hit the gym now. Everyone can calm down.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting because it seems like the Pattinson one, it is that series just going to be its own thing then, but then there are going to be other interconnected. I don't know. It's fucking fascinating. That.
Yeah, I'd love it if they just went, if randomly they went, fuck it. Why can't we have two Batmans on the go at the same time and be completely different? The comic books have been doing it for years.
They want to replicate the success of the Marvel movies, and the success of the Marvel movies is based upon the fact that people can follow along with it and get to know the characters and get invested in the stories. Go on.
But I think what they've done is they've tried to do that and realised that, one, they suck at it, and two, it's always going to get compared to that.
Yeah, the problem is they have two good characters.
If they do...
Donna's... Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay. So I don't know if you guys heard that, because I know I'm cutting out a little bit. In one of the Flash TV shows, there was a cameo by Ezra. Of the fact that there could be infinite, like more reality. So that will in there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought you might know. Okay. Thanks, babe. Okay. Cool. That makes sense. Did you guys hear?
It's
Donna was saying
very
that
poppy.
So Donna was saying that Ezra Miller was in one of the episodes of The Flash playing an alternate Flash to the one that's in the TV series.
Yeah.
So, there are other Earths where maybe just in this, it may be the. Okay. Yeah, so there is a way that maybe there's an alternate Batman who could be in the Flash universe. I don't. It's interesting. I mean, it's just, how much money would you have put on Michael Keaton ever playing Batman in a DC film ever again? What odds you could have got on that? Stunning. I'm really, really pleased to see that. I think that's fucking cool that Michael Keaton has gone, fuck it, potentially, why not? Yeah, I'll be Bruce Wayne again. That's cool.
It's the thing is, I've always liked Michael Keaton as an actor.
Yeah.
I always think he's a really good screenwriter. He's a really good comedic actor, and he can carry more weighty roles that we found in more recent years.
He's got a good charisma.
Yeah, he's up there, I think, with Stallone for the you're gutted that he didn't win an Academy Award. You felt like he should have. Like, it was that point for Birdman. Birdman won everything else. Why didn't he win Best Actor? Who won Best Actor that year?
No idea.
Won it fucking Ray-Bans.
Oh, yeah. What was it? Fucking hell. Yeah. Yeah, so I wasn't a massive fan of Birdman, but he just fucking deserves it for it. For that there.
I think it's quite interesting as well, because obviously the whole Batman and Robin vibe hasn't previously translated well to screen.
Because Robin's terrible.
Yeah. But having that mentor-mentee kind of vibe going on could be quite interesting.
Plus, it will be funny for watching Ezra Miller try and bounce off Michael Keaton.
I think he'll be fine. If he's not playing up to something, he's a good actor.
He's a good actor. No, he can be a good actor, but I just think that you get a feeling like if he was trying to prat about with Ben Affleck, Ben Affleck would just be like, I'm not going to do this. Whereas if he was trying to prat about with Michael Keaton would be like, oh, you think you're going to take the piss out of me? No. I will destroy you.
That'd be good.
Yeah. But I'm very up for that. But my brain is already going, if that's a 120-minute movie, I want 125 minutes of Michael Keaton.
Minus 5 minutes of Ezra Miller.
I don't even... No, I just want Michael Keaton.
No.
Did you guys ever watch the Need for Speed movie?
Yes.
Did we review it?
We didn't review it, but we spoke about it later on.
Yeah, I just remember Michael Keaton in that, in kind of like the haze of his Oscar nomination, and just let's pay Michael Keaton like $10 million to sit in a room and just let him fucking ramble on about cars, probably with a bottle of whiskey just off camera.
He is literally just in a room, isn't he?
Yeah, it's amazing. Fucking Need for Speed. That's a video game movie that just feels like, what?
It kind of happened by the fact that you had the guy from Breaking Bad and Michael Keaton.
Yeah, I mean Dominic Cooper, Imogen Poots. It's it's not a bad cast. Anyway, I'm ever so sorry for derailing the 7500 discussion, but that just got me incredibly excited. Michael Keaton back as fucking Bruce Wayne. Cool.
7500.
Definitely not shit.
I'm touching cloth with it.
I think I am as well. There's not enough plot there to sustain an entire movie, and that I found myself easily distracted.
Yeah, I just didn't connect with it. So I'm touching cloth. Our audience poll, and I have a question for you in a second, Ian. Actually, is definitely not shit 25%. Touching cloth 50% and shit 25%. Ian, how did you watch it?
On my Apple TV.
Right, so we watched it on our Apple TV as well, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And obviously we both watched it on Prime. Did the subtitles, were they hard coded for you? Did they come up?
For the foreign language bits, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't on ours.
No, it was annoying as fuck.
No.
Oh, really?
No, they didn't. We got like about a minute in to the bit where it starts becoming foreign language, and when
there must be something.
I mean, now the first little bit
they were on auto, weren't they? When you checked.
Yes. The first little bit when it started with in German, we were like, all right, maybe it's just we're not supposed to say know what they're saying because we're supposed to get in the confusion. We're supposed to be living the film through Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character's life, and he doesn't speak German. Mental that he's got a German partner and a child and lives in Germany, but doesn't speak any German. Yeah. Is a little bit like, well, fuck you. Also, well, I do find it a little bit obvious making the motives for the hijackers.
That's
a little bit.
Yeah, that's one of the things that bothered me most about it, to be
honest. But yeah, so we thought, right, well, it's maybe that. And then as it went on, we're like, nah, I think we're supposed to know this bit.
Yeah.
We had to put subtitles on for the whole rest of the movie. Just in case. And then go back and watch like the past 2 minutes.
But the auto subtitles should do that.
Yeah, it should do. But a few people have been saying the same thing, I found.
Very annoying.
Yeah. So yeah, that was it from that.
Are you a craft beer junkie?
Do you eagerly anticipate the freshest IPA release from your local craft brewer?
Do you check in every beer you've ever had on Untappd?
Do you know the difference between a Belgian triple and a Berliner Weisse?
Then do we have a podcast for you? What's Untappd podcast gives you beer reviews, interviews with brewers, behind the scenes access to beer festivals, games, and more. Whether you're a craft beer junkie or new to the world of craft brewing, What's Untappd podcast is something for you.
Check us out online, iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and now wearepodsyndicate.com. And as always, keep drinking, you dum-dums.
The Mulberry Boys, every Friday night. On the show, you better know they keep it tight. ETL is back and the J-Strom's in the zone. Introduce the co-host, he doesn't do it alone. PCZ is about to hold court. You know he's on the headset, you can hear him snort. Pop culture, movies, TV shows, and games. Rotten Tomatoes, reviews, news, and Blu-rays. Foggy don't play around, he will bust a drop pass. Welcome to the Entertainment Landfill Podcast, the Jason and Steven Show. It's the Jason and Steven Show. What? The Jason and Steven Show. It's the Jason and Steven Show.
Just what have you been watching before we do King of Staten Island? Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Ian, what have you been watching?
You know what? I've got through quite a lot. I watched 5 films on Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't remember the last time I watched 5 films in a day. I was really, really pleased with that.
Did you get to the end of it and go, holy shit?
Well, I got to the end of it watching The King of Staten Island and finished it about 1:30 in the morning. And then fell asleep on the sofa with a glass of Elvis juice in my hand and woke up at about 4:30 with that glass of Elvis juice still in my hand. I was very impressed with myself.
Yeah,
That's not that going
there. I'll go through the films I watched on Saturday. I watched 7500 in King of Staten Island, but also watched Resistance. So this is new on video on demand now. Came out on Friday, I think. I got a written review on Vodzilla. So basically it's the one where Jesse Eisenberg plays Marcel Marceau, who also was a fighter in the French resistance during World War II. Which is not as annoying as you kind of think it's going to be. The trailer was a bit like, oh God, what's this? Or at least I thought so.
It was like that, yeah.
Yeah, and I was actually quite surprised with the film. It starts off a little rough. It's bookended with Ed Harris playing General Patton.
Of course.
Yeah. Which is odd, and he's just like, I'm going to tell you a story of a great man, and and then it cuts to Marcel Marceau, who's a mime, who's also working in his father's butcher. His brother kind of gets him on board to help protect a bunch of Jewish kids who have basically been orphaned. And the first 20-30 minutes is trying very hard to make us see that Marcel Marceau is a genius and that he's great with kids. There's this really overextended sequence where he's doing mime to cheer them up, where I was just, fuck, let's just get on with it, please. If I wasn't being paid to write a review of it, I may well have switched it off at that point. But after that, it gets better. The second half in particular, once the Nazis are really like cracking down and they've basically occupied the whole of France, and there's an interesting thread in like, well, you know, what is best, to fight the Nazis and risk death, or to help ensure that these kids are safe, so that basically the Jewish faith can continue in France. And it's kind of like the push and pull of which one is important, is kind of most important to him. Eisenberg's decent. He's good. He gives a fair account of a guy who's kind of brought into fighting doesn't want to fight but learns why it's important. Clemence Posey is decent as well. Her character goes through some fucking shit, and she does a good job in kind of embodying it as the film goes on. The head Nazi in the film as well. It's interesting. He's not exactly just a paper cut out villain Nazi. He's obviously following a doctrine which is very, very, very wrong, but he's also got a wife and a kid, and he's got like wants for his kid. There's a really interesting scene where he talks to Jesse Eisenberg about his kid, which I thought was pretty good. It's not like a world beater. It's not a masterpiece, but it's a good couple of hours, or at least it's a good like final 90 minutes after a not as great opening 30. I liked it. It's been getting some pretty tepid reviews, and I could see why. It doesn't necessarily tell you anything that you don't know, but in a world where you've literally got far right idiots doing fucking Nazi salutes while trying to protect a statue of Churchill, it's I don't know, man. Maybe some people do need to fucking see this.
Oh yeah, history does need to be fucking taught without question.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's like if the last few years has taught us anything, is that people do seem to need to be told that Nazis are bad. Oh man, but yeah, no, it's all right. If it's on Netflix or Prime at some point, give it a go.
Yeah.
So I also watched A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. Did you get to this in the end?
We're going to try and watch that next week. We just didn't get a chance to watch it.
Okay. I will just say then I was very, very, very taken with it, and I'm fucking kicking myself that I didn't see the unlimited screening of it in December, because I would have liked to have put it very, very high in lists. Let's talk about it next week. I'm not entirely sure you guys will be as taken with it as I was, but Marielle Heller, man, she's got some fucking ideas for how to present stories. Fair play to her. Hanks, very, very good. Matthew Rhys, very, very good as well. Yeah, do try and get to it. I'd like to talk about it further, but probably when you guys have seen it.
Yeah, we absolutely will get to it this week, won't we, Bex?
I'd love to, yeah. We've been wanting to watch it, haven't we?
You very much have, haven't you?
Yeah.
Cool. I know. Good.
Lovely.
Sorry?
It just looks so lovely and like a warm hug.
It is, but it's got darkness to it as well. But the way that is presented is fucking fascinating. Really interesting film, and I think it's very, very odd that Marielle Heller wasn't getting some awards notice, because it seemed like Tom Hanks was the only one who did out of that film. But yeah. Okay, so also watched Tropic Thunder. So this was 4K for $3.99 on iTunes, and it's the theatrical cut. I remember the director's cut kind of droning on a bit, so I'm all right with the theatrical cut.
I can attest that I watched the director's cut last year, and it loses all flaw.
Yeah, there you go. It doesn't surprise me. It's interesting. I don't know if you guys have seen, but like Sky have suddenly put warnings on some of their films saying that it contains kind of like ideas that were of their time.
Yes.
And it kind of feels like Tropic Thunder will probably have that as well, even though it's only 12 years old. The Robert Downey Jr. character, they tread a very, very fine line with that, but in the end of the day, he is a fucking idiot method actor who goes the most idiotically method thing you could ever do, and they take the piss out of him for it. And they are taking the piss out of that the entire time, and Brandon T. Jackson is constantly chewing him out for it through the film. But yeah. I really like Tropic Thunder. It's very, very, very fucking funny. And it's extremely in my wheelhouse, to the extent that there is a joke where Jay Baruchel is trying to tell Robert Downey Jr. about why Blu-ray won the HD DVD Blu-ray format war. which is just extremely my shit and will be funny to no one else. And it looks great as well. It's shot by John Toll, who I want to say was the cinematographer on The Thin Red Line.
He wasn't.
Cool. And I mean, it looks great. It obviously had a big budget. The cast is fucking insane. Ben Stiller, Jack Black, Robert Downey Jr., Matthew McConaughey, Bill Hader, Jay Baruchel, Tom Cruise, for fuck's sake, Nick Nolte, Danny McBride, Steve Coogan. Like, bloody hell, it's a great, affectionate, but also piss-taking look at Hollywood. I will say as well, the moment where Steve Coogan's character steps on the mine and blows up, it's way too close to the moment in Da 5 Bloods.
Yeah, it very much isn't it?
Like, it's weird. It's like Spike Lee has either never seen Tropic Thunder or he fucking loves Tropic Thunder. It's one. It's one or t'other. But yeah, Tropic Thunder holds up. Also in 4K and on iTunes for $3.99. Beverly Hills Cop.
Fucking love Beverly Hills Cop.
So this recently got a Blu-ray re-release with the 4K master, but the only way to actually see it in 4K is streaming. Starting to find this, ever so slight tangent, there's a lot of stuff now available in 4K digitally that doesn't have a 4K physical release. It's like really getting up there. And Arrow are now doing Pitch Black in 4K on disc. I don't think that'll be on digital. So there are some titles that will only be 4K on disc as well. But it does kind of feel like the tide's slightly turning there. Just the amount of random shit that has a 4K release on iTunes now. Like Vanilla Sky is $4.99 at the moment. I think I might buy that. If films are a $5 or $3.99, but they're in 4K, I'm far more likely to buy them than if they're HD. I will say that. I wouldn't have bought Beverly Hills Cop otherwise. Beverly Hills Cop is great. It doesn't have the fantastic. There's a moment in Beverly Hills Cop 2 which I thought was in this one. I was disappointed where it wasn't. Where Eddie Murphy walks into the inspector's office and just goes, "Hey, Inspector T, how you doing?" And then Inspector T just goes, "Shut the fuck up, Foley." And it just yeah.
I fucking $3.99 Beverly Hills Cop on iTunes. That is fucking. I genuinely Beverly Hills Cop and Beverly Hills Cop 2. I adore those movies.
I mean, with good reason. Beverly Hills Cop 2 is currently $7.99 on iTunes, so I won't be buying that just yet. But the moment that motherfucker is $3.99, I'm buying it and I'm watching it. It's a good time.
And Martin Brest is responsible for two of the best buddy comedies of the 80s.
Between Midnight Run and Beverly Hills Cop, that guy was just doing the best work.
Yeah.
You could say the breastwork.
The breastwork.
No, I mean, but yeah, Beverly Hills Cop, man, holds up. Banana in the Tailpipe, still amazing.
It's so fucking watchable, that movie.
And I love his relationship with Taggart as well. The fact that, like, the first scene that he's in with Taggart fucking punches him in the police station, and then it's literally like, "Do you want to press charges against this man?" It gets really serious. And I like how the kind of like the affection kind of grows between them as the film goes on. I mean, like, Judge Reinhold just loves the shit out with him pretty much right from the off. But I love as well when they he orders the room service down and Taggart's like not into it, and then Judge Reinhold's just like, "This is actually pretty good," you know. It's just
Judge Reinhold's just took it.
Yeah. No, I mean, brilliant. And Ronnie Cox is really good in it as well. I mean, yeah, it's cracking, and just the way that, you know, when Eddie Murphy needs to get serious, he gets serious. Like when he's thrown out that window, and then those cops like arrest him, and it's just like, what are you fucking pressing what are you pressing charges for? Me being thrown out of a window. What, next I'm going to be thrown out of a moving car, and you're going to charge me for jaywalking? You know, I like how kind of angry he is with that, as well as taking the piss. Yeah, it's cracking. It's Beverly Hills Cop, but it doesn't have Shut the Fuck Up Foley, which I just remember the first time I watched that, and I fucking must have laughed for about 20 minutes straight. But yeah, Beverly Hills Cop. Just a couple others. You guys there? I will wait a minute. Hello?
Hello.
Hello, you're back again, mate.
Okay, cool. I'll move on from Beverly Hills Cop. A couple others. I watched QT8, the first 8. Did you guys watch this a while back? The documentary about Tarantino?
Yeah, we watched it a few weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah. So I caught up on it. It's on Amazon Prime now. I liked it. It's a good look at his films. Kind of wish they didn't even bother bringing up Weinstein for all the insight that you get from it. If they're going to bring up what? Go on.
You get more the fact that Michael Madsen doesn't like Harvey Weinstein and never has than you do anything else.
I think though, if they hadn't admitted that it got criticised for that as well.
Yeah, it feels like they go, look, all right, we'll get to that.
But it's just the fact that it's not like they interrogate it or anything, you know. It's just, okay, well, Quentin was his friend for years, but never knew anything about. I don't know. It made me feel a bit uncomfortable. But yeah, I mean, it's an entertaining enough look at his films, which led me on to rewatching The Hateful Eight, first time since cinema. Hateful Eight is really good. It's I think coming off of Inglourious, but I'm ready to fucking really fucking good. Was a bit of a disappointment, I think, for me first time round. I do think it's overindulgent. I think it is too long. The Samuel L. Jackson, Bruce Dern bit is a little bit like, did that actually need to be there? I mean, like, you'd never guess where that conversation is going when it starts. But yeah. But cast having a lot of fun. When the gore comes out, and I like the way it tells. It's kind of like just theatrical kind of tale. It's not one of Tarantino's best, but it's still a very, very entertaining movie. That's me done.
Yeah, I love Hateful Eight. It's fantastic. I need to rewatch that again at some point soon.
I want to rewatch it.
Yeah. Also, as well, I think, as I said when you mentioned, Ian, that you watched it on our WhatsApp thing, that the real fucking star of that movie is Robert Richardson.
Oh my god. Yeah. All of the outside stuff is incredible.
Yeah, it's a beautiful film.
Kiki just wants to say hi. 2 secs. Come on, get up. Get up. I want to show Mark and Becky how big you've got. Ugh. Oh.
Whoa!
She's huge.
That is a big dog.
She is a big pup. But she's not a fat pup. She's just a big pup, aren't you, sweets?
She's going to be massive.
How old is she now?
Getting on for 5 months.
Bloody hell.
Oh, there you
Got
go.
runs like that too.
Something like that, yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, her mum and dad were fucking huge. So, yeah, she's got some growing to do. She's going to be a big girl, aren't you, hun? Anyway, sorry about that.
Bex, have you watched anything then?
I have not.
Have I? No.
I have, but not on my own.
I did watch the end of what was it? My iPad's doing something weird.
Day After Tomorrow?
Yeah, I did watch the end of Day After Tomorrow. I really like the Day After Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's it's a bit of a comfort watch for me. You know, a film that's just a nice warm hug of a movie about the planet starting a new ice age.
We like a disaster movie.
We do like a disaster movie. Yeah. So what else do you watch? Well, talking about disaster movie, what? There you go, Bex.
We watched Dante's Peak, which you'd actually never seen before.
I've never seen Dante's Peak, no.
Because you were going through your hating Pierce Brosnan thing.
Yeah.
See, you don't have many of these things, these just irrational hatreds of actors. But Michael Cera and Pierce Brosnan are special, aren't they?
I don't think Michael Cera is necessarily irrational. Like, I could see why he could get on somebody's wick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Pierce Brosnan thing, it's because I have actually no problem with Pierce Brosnan. It's when people started to think Pierce Brosnan was like a really good actor. That's what bothered me.
He's a nice enough screen presence, but he's not a good actor.
No, he's not.
That's fair enough.
He's not. That's what bothered me.
Disaster movie. Big volcano. No one believes him. Shit goes down.
Yeah, it is quite amusing how no one believes him, and then literally just shit goes down really fucking quickly, and everybody makes the wrong decision.
But I feel like people are still not believing him while it's already happening.
Yeah.
It's gonna get worse. No, it's not. It's literally getting worse right now.
Yeah, it's a fun time for what is it, and it's always nice to see Linda Hamilton
in a not Terminator
movie.
Yeah, she's all right in this. Actually,
she's really good in it. You know, she's really charismatic and really engaging, and you know, she's not crazy,
which is always good.
Yeah. What else did we watch? We rewatched in our continuing Marvel rewatch Civil War.
We did rewatch Civil War, but now we've stalled, haven't we? Because you've realised what's next.
Yeah.
Didn't you talk about Civil War last week?
No. Did we? No. Did we? I don't think so. I think we watched.
They all just blur into one now. I don't know.
I don't think we did, because I think we watched it the night that we recorded. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Poor Bucky.
I still think this is my favourite of them.
Yeah.
So far.
It's very, very good.
Yeah.
Civil War's great.
I think it's the one that feels like there's the most at stake.
It adds some meat to the bones as well, doesn't it? Because it's like there's no way that all these very different personalities are just gonna get on all the time and fight evil. Like there is gonna be friction, and I think it's you can either kind of gloss over it and pretend it's not there, or you can engage it head on, and this engages it head on, and I like that about it.
Yeah, I think you get it makes sense with the whole Cap versus Iron Man thing, in the sense that they both think they're right, but they both think the other one is wrong as well, but they're not against each other, but the very nature of what they do means at some point they're going to have to battle, and it's almost like with Tony Stark realizing that he's Tony Stark. He's Iron Man for the what is it, but without the suit, he is just he's Tony Stark. He's two people, so he's Iron Man and he's Tony Stark. Whereas Captain America that's all he is. He's Steve Rogers. That's all he is.
Yeah.
And so there's that. It's a fascinating what is it?
I think
movie.
it shows Tony dealing with how he is or isn't dealing with what the repercussions of what they do are.
What I have found fascinating is how Anthony Mackie has actually been really quite engaging so far in these. Did he just drop off a cliff after this one?
Maybe. Let's wait and see.
Won't we? And then
we'll get through Doctor Strange first, though, babe.
Yeah. And then finally, it's not like
it's so pained. Sorry.
It's not the fact I don't like Doctor Strange at all. I'm fine with Doctor Strange. I just never need to watch it again. But I do need to watch it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I don't have any need within me to watch it again.
I quite like Doctor Strange, and I've only seen it once.
I don't care that much, but I've got to watch it. I enjoyed it. I have that memory of it. The more I watch it, the more bored I get of it.
I like the magic shit.
Yeah, I don't like the magic shit.
No. And we watched Inside Man.
Which you claimed a game that you hadn't seen, despite
No,
the fact
I
that
didn't claim I hadn't seen it. I knew I'd seen this. In fact, I said to you, I remember really liking this.
That was welcome.
See, I thought, and obviously you're supposed to think it, that they've all come out at the same time as the hostages, aren't you?
Yes.
I forgot, clearly, because it's a silly idea, that he just bricked himself into a wall and waited.
Yeah.
That was a bit of a shitty kind of, oh, really? Because it would have been better if she'd just come out with the rest of them.
I don't know. I really like Inside Man, but it's fun, but it does feel a little bit like Spike Lee on autopilot.
Yeah, quite generic.
Yeah. It feels like a Spike Lee paycheck movie.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine. But it's not bad or anything.
Like, it's a really high level paycheck movie.
Yeah.
Because it's directed by Spike Lee.
I could live without Jodie Foster in it. Anyone else in that role would have been fine.
I think it made sense to me at the time, though. I think you were supposed to think that you're not as hot shit as you think you are. However, it was quite funny watching Jodie Foster try and walk in heels.
That was quite funny. She proper waddles in heels.
Yeah, she does.
That is not... I was watching it like... I can't criticise this because Mark would be like, that is such a fucking woman thing to criticise another woman for. But I'm glad to hear you were thinking it
looks literally like it was all done on perpetual motion. So literally she stood there, got somebody to push her.
Yeah.
And then once her feet started moving, they went, just shoot it now, because eventually she'll stop.
What's that one film where Patrick Swayze plays like a...
213, thanks for everything. No, Jane.
All right. She walks like that.
No, that's where she walks better.
Oh, no, hang on. No, I mean... No, there's one where...
Kurt Russell,
yeah.
Tango and Cash.
Tango and Cash.
Yeah.
That's how she walks.
Nope, Kurt Russell walks better.
Yeah, Kurt Russell probably does walk better, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was what we've watched this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very lesser Spike Lee, but it's still a fun movie.
I want to watch 25th Hour, man.
It's a little bit too long, though.
I want to watch 25th Hour.
That one's way too long.
But it's good, though.
It's good, but it's way too long. Maybe a movie that might be too long. We'll find out.
Oh, there's no might about it, quite frankly, Mark.
The King of Staten Island. Directed by Judd Apatow. It's also co-written by Judd Apatow. It stars Pete Davidson. He's also co-written by Pete Davidson and is semi-autobiographical. It also stars Marissa Tomei, Bill Burr, Maud Apatow, Steve Buscemi, Kevin Corrigan, and other people. It is the story of Scott Carlin, played by Pete Davidson, who is essentially a waster, mid-20s, spends all his time just getting baked, and is a amateur tattooist whose work is mad inconsistent.
Nice.
Lives in Staten Island, and his sister, played, I think his sister's Maud Apatow, yeah. He's moving away to college, so it leaves him with his mum on his own. His mum realises that she essentially has a bit of empty nest syndrome, and decides to pursue a relationship with Bilbo's character, Ray Bishop, who also happens to be a firefighter.
Whoa. What are the odds?
Because Pete Davidson's dad was a firefighter who died when he was 7 years old.
How does she meet Ray?
Semi-autobiographical bit. She meets Ray because Scott gives his 9-year-old son, a tattoo.
Of what?
Just a line. Just a line. So, yeah. King of Staten Island. Ian, what did you think of King of Staten Island? Can I add? King of Staten Island is 136 minutes long.
Gosh, that's 2 hours 16 minutes.
Yes.
In real life.
And claims to be a comedy.
So, take everything I say with a pinch of salt, because I was fucking wasted when I watched this. the very first scene immediately started making my teeth itch. Where it's like, right, this is a guy who seems to be having some issues and is like, yeah, maybe I'll, crash my car and end things. It's like really super, super selfish way of trying to kill yourself, mate. Well done. And it took a while for me to warm up to it. He's an asshole for far too much of this film. But by the end, it was like, yeah, all right, now he's like 20% less arsehole. But it also feels like one like bad experience at the firehouse and he could just go back to how he was. It doesn't necessarily feel like there was an awful lot of growth there. Can't say I laughed all that much. But I also can't say I hated it. It is too long, but in my kind of like drunken haze, it all kind of like melted along all right, really. Yeah, just it, like I kind of alluded to earlier on, there is no fucking need to see this in a cinema whatsoever. I mean, Apatow's never made the most cinematic films, but fuck me. No. Yeah. I'm intrigued to see what you guys thought of it. I didn't hate it, but 100% can see why Universal just went, fuck it, stick it on VOD.
Thanks.
I went into this fully prepared to fucking hate it. I've been dreading watching this movie all week. I don't like Judd Apatow movies. I don't like Pete Davidson. I don't like the fact that Judd Apatow just cast Maud Apatow in it. Nepotistic twat. I was fully prepared to hate this movie.
I always do find it amusing that whenever Maud Apatow's asked about what is it, she always says, I always make sure I have to audition for these movies. And it's like, well, nobody asked you that, Maud, but thanks for sharing that with us. But do you think it's weird that you always also do get cast?
Yeah.
Were these auditions in your kitchen?
Yeah. Yeah, I actually really liked it, to be fair.
Oh, fair play.
I actually really liked Maud Apatow in it. I thought she was really good as the sister. The concern that she feels for her brother feels really genuine. Like she's obviously worried that he's just gonna fuck up their mother's life when she's not there. She's worried about him on a personal level as well. I think the bits with him and Bill Burr are really good. I think the bits with him with the little kids are really, really sweet. Shows that he's, it's there obviously to demonstrate that he's not just a fuck up. He's not a bad guy. He's just a bit shiftless. And yeah, his tattoos are shit. They are mad inconsistent. The bits with his
friends.
Obama
ain't right.
Obama ain't right.
I have no black friends anymore.
Oh god, that bit's funny. The bits with his friends are really funny. Igor's great. The fact that his girlfriend turned out to be real, great. I really liked it. I found it really quite sweet and charming. Is it going to stick, the fact that he's kind of sorted himself out a little bit? Probably not to that extent. Like, he's not going to become a fireman. It's not something that you just kind of stumble into, I don't think, really, is it? But, maybe having a little bit more direction and having a father figure in his life is going to do him some good. Again, it's another one that just fucking ends, so we'll never know. But
it does end with him just waiting for his girlfriend to get out of the exam, doesn't it? It's just like he's just going to hang around there for a few hours.
Well, like the fact that he goes from just being like, oh well, we can either just fuck or we can just stop. There's no more than that. And then at the end, he like gets the ferry with her, and he's like testing her on stuff for her exam and waiting for her while she does a city exam, and it's just quite sweet. Like, it's a little bit of a candy coated ending, but I like it. So yeah, very, very shocked.
I have two issues with it.
Oh,
right.
They're not wearing headsets, man.
I have two issues with it. One, the title. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever. It's a fair point.
Doesn't make sense. He never professes to be. If you're going to call a film The King of Staten Island, you've got to have, with that poster and stuff like that, you've got to have something that somebody like he thinks he's a big deal there, whereas he painfully doesn't. There's no. It doesn't make sense.
No.
It's a clever title, but not for this movie.
No.
My other point about it is actually nothing to do with the movie. It's something that I'll come to towards the end of what I'm saying, as what is becoming an increasing irk for me, not just in movies, but around movies and in a wider point of society.
Did you just tease a trailer, something you're going to say later?
I did a little bit. I have that power now. Because I'm the king of film Staten Island.
Is that right?
Apparently, I'm self-proclaimed.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I auditioned myself in the kitchen. I really, really liked it. Like, I really, really liked it.
Why?
I thought Pete Davidson was really good in it. I thought he was very funny when he needed to be funny. I thought he conveyed the chaos. There was a lot of it. There was a level of emotion there of him just accepting that he maybe didn't want to be this sort of, like you said, listless. But he can't. He's funked. He's got in a funk and he just cannot fucking get out of it. And the drive and energy to get out of it. Just
beyond him,
it's beyond him, and it stresses him out, which causes him to fall even further down. And then the only way that he can kind of go right is to kind of go, no. The reason why I don't want a relationship with a girl is not because he doesn't like her, but because he's like, no, I'll be fucking holding you back. You don't want a fucking relationship with me. It'll be terrible.
I'm kind of fucked up.
And then the point is that I think where he doesn't. I think the film tricks you a little bit. I don't think the point where he has a turnaround is the bit where he goes to the fire station.
No, it's the fight in the back garden.
I don't think it's that. I think there's a realization when he's with his friends and they're talking about robbing the pharmacy, and he's like, no, wait a minute, I'm smarter than doing that. That's fucking stupid. And then when he does it, it's like, oh, holy shit, was I this fucking stupid? And then he keeps dragging himself back down.
I love the shot of him playing basketball with Igor. Like, I knew Pete Davidson was tall, and they've clearly got that guy in cast because he's small, so the disparity is so high. But he just looks like a fucking giant.
You mean Moises Arias from Hannah Montana?
Fuck me, is that who it is?
Yeah. Did you not twig that it was?
No, I did
What's
not.
it from Hannah Montana?
Wow.
Yeah, Marissa Tomei's great in it. I don't think it's a comedy. I think it's a drama that has funny moments.
A dramedy?
No, I don't think it's that. I think it's a drama that has funny moments within it. It's too long. I like the fact that his tattoos aren't that good. And then when you see the big reveal of the back and you think there's going to be this great big like poignant piece that he's going to do about the fire department and it's going to look really fucking good, and it's still pretty shit. And he's done the Chinese character on his back.
What I don't get is, like, the picture that he draws in the kids' notepad's really good.
Yeah.
Why doesn't he...
I also enjoyed Machine Gun Kelly just fucking chewing him out in the in the tattoo thing, and then him just being a dick to that fucking Nazi.
Rico from Hannah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the wine mom's bit when he goes back to see his mum and she's completely redecorated the house and she just sat there getting wine drunk with her sister. And they're just laughing at him.
And then they just shoot him out of the house.
Yeah. Alright, that was brilliant. Can I talk to you outside? And then just chucks him out.
It's the fact that he shoots him out and then you just hear them cackling in the background.
Yeah.
He's great. I was quite taken by it, to be honest.
Yeah.
It was, and I was in very early on. From them winding up the friend about his dad's death.
Oh yeah.
I didn't like it, but immediately I thought, oh, hang on a minute, he's clearly not okay with this, but he's
trying to
he's
deal
trying
with
to
it.
not, because that's the way he deals with things.
I don't know. At that point, I thought if the rest of the film's like this, I'm not on board with it.
Yeah, but I thought it was an interesting character study of that character.
Yeah, that character is basically just him, isn't it?
Yeah, well, to an extent, yeah. But the shitty embracing of being the black sheep of the family was quite interesting. In that of like I'm not wearing a suit. Why can't I just some people are corner sitters. Some people just sit in the corner. And I was thinking, I mean, I have had that conversation with family members before. Basically, that exact conversation.
I'm not really a suit wearer.
Yeah. So there was maybe in a bit I probably shouldn't have made. I was a little bit like, okay, I kind of I can relate a little bit to points of this. It's fine to tattoo the kid thing. Was the tattooing the kid scene was fucking brilliant. And then when he goes to pick the kid up from the mum's house, and he's like, "Hi, Harold," which is definitely the first time I am meeting you. And the bit in the fucking school where the teacher's clearly like, "Are you okay? You do know this man, don't you?" He's like, "Oh, I've trained in a car. You ain't gonna break her." Yeah, but then that just, I need to get to the office. Can you go and clean those papers? She's like, "No, I'm not gonna do that." And she goes, "No, they're just over there. Go clean them." He's like, "Okay." And there's not a lot of malice to him.
No.
He's just a bit of a fuck up.
Yeah. And
then the guy coming in with the gunshot wound. And he doesn't like. He just tries to help him. I do find I was really quite taken with this movie, and I'm quite shocked at how taken I was with it, to be honest. So movie fine. However, an increasing bugbear that I am having.
Is it people peeing in movies?
No, but that isn't lying. The increasing forced upon you of weed culture is starting to irk me a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like certain people celebrating how much weed they smoke and the fact that so Kevin Smith's getting a little bit annoying with the weed thing. Seth Rogen has been annoying with the weed thing for a while. Rihanna has been annoying with the weed thing for a while. And it's a bit like, we get it. You like weed. That's fine. But are we supposed to be impressed about it?
I think they think it makes them really edgy.
But it's like, it's not edgy at all, because every fucking accountant in America has got a prescription for weed.
Yeah.
It's not cool anymore. It's no longer and I'm doing bunny ears here, it's no longer a ghetto drug. It's a middle class drug now. It's kind of a little bit.
And that in places where it's legal, it's like smoking cigarettes, and it'll come full circle, and people will be fucking shamed for it, like they are for smoking.
It feels a little bit like there's a whole legalize it thing, and now it's been legalized. They're still walking around going, "Oh look, I've been smoking weed for ages now. I was so bit." It's like, right, cool. I mean, great. If people walked around celebrating their alcoholism that much, it would be a lot more frowned upon a little bit. And it just seems like, I don't know, maybe it's just a personal irking of it. I have no problem with these people doing weed and anything like that. I have no issue with it.
I mean, it seems like you do have a bit of a problem with it now.
No, it's more how impressed they seem with themselves for doing it.
Yeah, I get that.
And it's like, all right, great. Shouldn't you have grown out of it by now?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't get it. And I have nothing against weed. It's just, I don't get it. It's starting to bug me a little bit.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, it's not counterculture anymore. It's just it's just part of
it is.
It's like a thing, and then when you want to write, oh yeah, I smoked so many cigarettes at the weekend. It's like, so, and?
I bet you stank.
Would you want a fucking medal?
Yeah, I don't know. It just hurt me, and this kind of brought that up a little bit. But yeah, definitely not shit. In a year where we might see 13 movies, it might be in my top 10 of the year.
Definitely not shit for me.
Wow.
If it's not in my top 10, which I think it probably won't be, but it'll definitely be in my most surprising.
That's fine.
I'm stunned that I like this movie. If you could computer program a movie for me to not like, it would be this movie. Plus Judi Dench. Judi Dench would play the mother.
Yeah, I would watch that.
Marissa Tomei
Tomei
adds something to it.
elevates everything, yeah, don't she? Sorry, what were you in? Sorry.
Yeah, definitely not shit. Definitely not shit.
What I will agree with there, Ian, is this movie was always going to be VOD. It would have bombed at the cinema in this country because I don't think enough people have enough frame of reference for Pete Davidson beyond the fact that he was the guy who was banging Ariola Grande.
Okay, I reckon so.
That was a too brief a thing for it, I think, to even register, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank God she fucking came to us in today.
Yeah, well, she's never had great taste in that. Our audience poll, definitely not shit, 50%, and shit, 50%.
Oh, wow.
So, a real mixed bag.
Yeah, it's a real mixed bag. Yeah.
We don't actually have any questions this week.
We do.
Do we?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I fucking missed that.
Oh,
I'm not doing well this week.
You know, I've got a follow up on the answer to last week's cheese question. I've been thinking about it all week.
What have you got?
Completely forgot about Port Salut. It's easily my favourite cheese.
There we go.
Fair enough.
Bothered me. Like, as soon as I realised that I'd not said it, I was like, fucking hell, Rebecca, you've misrepresented your cheese tastes to people.
You can do questions of the week then.
Well, I mean,
Ask a bastard.
No. Hang on.
Because I don't have a fucking clue where it is.
I don't know how to find them.
They're just in our mentions.
Mentions.
Sure, we have had one, yeah. How did I miss that?
It's from Rick Kidd.
Well, I'm waiting for you to get it.
Okay.
I've got it in front of me now, but I'm waiting for
Where
you.
to find them?
In our mentions?
Where's that?
Mentions? How do you not use Twitter? There you
There
are.
we go.
Jesus.
What have been your favourite cinema experiences? Not just the film, but the whole package, including location, facilities, people, surrounding events, etc. E.g., for me, it was seeing Blade Runner 2049 at the BFI IMAX after feeding the giraffes at London Zoo earlier that day. Guess what, Rick? Mark met a giraffe once.
It is in my Twitter bio, that.
Met a giraffe once, yes it is. There's even a picture of a giraffe. Oh, I think probably one of the most memorable, like, cinematic experience would be probably the Twin Peaks Weekender, but it's not a cinema. It was in a cinema with a screen. It was in a theatre with a screen, cinema screen, but it wasn't a film, so I don't know if I can count it. But that was fucking banging.
Yeah, that was a 24 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Airbeds, covers,
Mike.
special coffee mug, Mike, donuts. First time we had Krispy Kreme donuts.
Donuts, yeah. I was that.
Shipped in specially.
Yeah, I was that tired when we went, when we left and went to the train station, but we had like a few hours to kill. Went to ask. I was that tired that I accidentally tipped £300.
She did tell you.
And she did tell me, which was very nice of her.
Yeah.
I think I wasn't even like trying to tip £3 or £30. I don't know what I did, but yeah, I tipped £300.
Oh, and the art installations and stuff as well.
Yeah.
Like the room sets, that was really good.
It was good, was that?
It was really fucking good. If they'd shown Fire Walk with Me,
yeah,
that would have been a real film and we could have carried it.
Yeah.
I think one of the most memorable for me was going to see Jurassic Park.
All right, yeah.
Nothing around it. I think we just went to.
It was a big deal movie.
Yeah,
that
we went to see Jurassic Park. I think it was. We didn't go to the cinema often because there was obviously the three of us and then my stepbrother and stepsister, so there was 5 people to take to the cinema. It's fucking expensive. So we didn't go to the cinema that often, but all 5 of us went to see Jurassic Park. My parents weren't big into films either, so we didn't go for that reason. I didn't really go to the cinema much as a kid. But we went to that, and I think we went to Pizza Hut afterwards. So it was like a big family outing, and we didn't really have many of them that weren't like Brimham fucking Rocks or something wholesome like that. And we got pick and mix, which was very exciting for the fat kid that I was.
The great pick and mix that you could have at the View Cinema that obviously we went to there was the scales weren't behind the counter at that point. So what you could do was you could put the thing on the scale. And if you were of that way inclined, you could put your finger on the underside of the scale and push it back up a little bit.
That's always good.
And you had to just kind of judge it as the person was looking at the thing. And in reality, the person behind the counter knew you were scamming it. They just didn't give a shit.
Cinema pick and mix as well is like a special thing, isn't it?
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. We got some when we went to Cineworld not so long back, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
That was really exciting.
And then allowed me to have a few bits.
You had your fair share.
I had 2 little strawberry things on my mouth.
You had more than that.
Ian, what's yours?
In all honesty, Hateful Eight 70mm.
Yeah.
Just that whole kind of the whole experience of that, just like even the queuing up outside where there's a fucking massive queue and everyone was pumped, and then the program we all got, and just like that massive like wide screen at Odeon Leicester Square, and just kind of wallowing in it for a few hours. That was a lovely experience. Yeah, that was a terrific time.
Yeah, that was the first one that came to mind was that, because it was just, I think we were both really like fucking pumped for it, and
yeah, man.
And then it was just like, right, this is beautiful. This is, and then the fact that it wasn't just going to see a film. Because it wasn't, because we knew at that point that isn't the film that is then going to be released.
No.
It was a roadshow. It was a special occasion thing. It was look, you're only going to be able to see this so many times.
Yeah.
This is an event thing that's happening. So that seeing Apocalypse Now on the big screen was a big one for me. Seeing Taxi Driver on the big screen for me. I'd always liked Goodfellas. But I never really, I'd liked it, but it never sat as well as other Scorsese's with me. And then I saw it on the big screen, and within literally 25 seconds, I was like, oh, holy shit, this is different. And that was fantastic. But I think in terms of cinema, I think it's when cinema became like a big deal for me, was because growing up as I did in a family that we just didn't do anything together. That's not a criticism of my family. We just didn't. It's not something we did.
Well, we tried, but you just sat in the car and shoot.
I want big in joining in, and so because of that, I think I very much, we didn't go on holiday and stuff like that. I think it's part of the, and it's not a well, it's me thing, but it is part of coming from a broken home. It is that, but I used to go to the cinema a lot on my own, and I really enjoyed going to the cinema on my own. And so you used to have that as a kid, where View used to have for like £2. You got like popcorn, a drink, and a movie Monday to Friday at the cinema.
Yeah.
And what I'd do there is go watch the kids' movie that was playing in the morning, and it could be anything. I saw both Ghostbusters movies there, like fucking Groundhog Day and Batshit's Not Included, fucking Close Encounters one of the days, Jaws played one of the fucking days. This was back before digital. What is it? So they just got prints of random fucking movies. And then I'd come out of that and then just see whatever else. So I'd go into like 3 movies at a time and just sneak in. At the time I thought I'd been really sneaking. Again, it's just that the people that work there didn't give a shit. So I think cinema was like a big. That's why cinema became such a big deal for me, and it was I've seen fucking so much at the cinema at the time. Yeah. It was fascinating, yeah. So that was that.
Any updates on your favourite cheese?
I'm still sticking to Bavarian.
Yeah.
Yeah, a good strong smoked cheese. Guess we'll get to fuck.
Even Wednesday, you
I do like a Wednesday. You see, you might have done that. But I could eat Wednesday like an apple.
Oh yeah, that's how Wednesday should be.
Yeah, it should be eaten like a block.
Just a handful of Wednesday.
Like you're eating a fucking Mars bar. It's a hand fruit of a cheese, that.
It is a hand fruit cheese.
Yeah. What are we covering next week, guys?
Yeah, Eurovision.
Oh, fuck, we are. Oh, I am so excited for that.
I'm not
Yeah.
the show.
Yeah, you are.
I don't want to watch it.
Tough.
You're watching it.
I don't want to. I just want to play The Last of Us 2.
It's great. Well, you can talk about that, and we'll talk about Eurovision, and you can bask in the glory that is Rich McAdams.
You would have finished Last of Us 2 by then, surely.
Yeah, you will have.
I'm going to play it tomorrow while you're doing your commentary.
Damn right you are.
How far through it are you, Bex?
Not terribly, but I'm past the bit.
I don't think we can. I will all for all time of films.
I'm past the bit, but I was expecting the bit anyway. Like, as soon as they announced they were doing a second game, I was like, that bit is going to be a thing.
Fair enough.
Did you think that bit was going to happen as early?
I expected it would have happened in the interim between both games.
Okay, fair enough. Well,
It wasn't too much wrench. I mean, it was wrench. But how awesome is that bit at the beginning, though, where you get to play Joel's guitar? I was well excited by that. I loved that bit. It's great.
You have guitar here, haven't you?
No, because you just like strumming away, just gently.
And then does it pop up like a triangle? Squat circle?
No, you have to use your left circly bit.
Yeah.
The controller nipple to what?
Shouldn't we have real guitars there?
But you won't teach me how to play it, and they're all left-handed, and I'm not fucking.
Got
stupid-handed.
three righties upstairs.
They're in parts. They're in bits.
One of them isn't.
The one that has no strings.
Have I cut the strings off it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, fair enough.
So anyway, you use the left controller nipple to move your thing to where it needs to be.
I don't think that's a technical term.
I don't know what they call
Ian,
it.
what they're called?
What, left?
The analog stick.
The analog stick. That's it.
Controller nipple.
I couldn't think of what it was called.
Mark, don't take the piss out of Becky for not getting names right, mate. That's
fair point, yeah. People in glass houses.
Yeah. Don't throw in bitch.
Oh, hey, if I lived in a glass house, I'd be fucking throwing stones fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'd be doing if I lived in a glass house?
What?
Trapping ghosts in the basement.
Well played.
Thanks.
Well played.
Thanks.
Yeah,
I
so
watch that
right.
again.
Let's wrap this up.
Yep, so Eurovision, I'm looking forward to that.
Ugh.
It's not whinging you.
No.
We are Pod Syndicate. We are a Pod Syndicate podcast.
That was so aggressive.
Wow, sure. Yeah, you can find us on there along with other podcasts, including Chin Strike vs. Punter, his film, her movie, Beyond the Neon, Entertainment Landfill, What's on Tap, and I'm probably forgetting one, but I apologise to whoever I'm forgetting. Patreon. What we got coming up on Patreon, Ian?
Oh, sorry. So, well, I concluded the Cats saga last week. So tomorrow we continue on with Nolan chat because Tenet is coming out the 31st of July and we got some work to do. So we will be recording a commentary on Memento tomorrow as we record this. It will probably be out around about the same time as this episode. Patreon.com/filmbastards, $2 a month. There's a fucking good library of extra content on there, quite frankly, at this point. So yeah, $2 a month.
There'll hopefully be another maximum damage out in the next week to 10 days. Obviously a little bit slower on them because I'm back at work. Yeah. With a bang. So thank you very much for joining me, Rebecca.
You're very welcome, Mark.
And thank you very much for joining me, Ian.
I need to go pee. Bye.
Bye.
This podcast is part of the Pod Syndicate family. For more criminally compelling shows, articles, and conversations, head to wearepodsyndicate.com.